The Brazilian Grand Prix, it rarely lets us down. Moments of history have turned up time and time again at Interlagos, where it be Senna, Hamilton, Schumacher, Vettel, Alonso, the list goes on. But here are 5 of our favourite moments from Brazilian Grand Prix of the past. Remember, if you want to stay up to date with everything that we do here at GPFans, hit the subscribe button down below, and it's as easy as that. Also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at GPFansGlobal. But without further ado, here are 5 of our favourite moments from F1 history in Brazil. 2007. Kimi wins the driver's title by a point ahead of Hamilton. Brazil has given us some wild rides in recent years, but there aren't many that can compete with Kimi Raikonen's win to clinch the Drivers' Championship by a point over Lewis Hamilton. The then McLaren rookie was starting second on the grid, behind Felipe Massa, but was overtaken by Raikonen off the line in the Ferrari. Fernando Alonso soon followed before a lock-up by the British driver sent him wide and sliding down the order to 8th. Working his way through the field, Hamilton was soon back up to 6th before a gearbox problem caused his car to slow dramatically. By the time the onboard computer was reset and life was restored to his McLaren, Lewis was down to 18th place. His task was a daunting one: try to get back into the top 5 to save his championship lead. By lap 15 he was back up to 11th. By lap 59, and after switching to a 3-stop strategy, Hamilton was up to 8th, but his World Championship rival had overtaken teammate Felipe Massa for the lead of the race. Raikkonen went to win on with ease, while Hamilton's salvage job ended in 7th. A 5th place finish would have sealed a first F1 crown for the British driver, but it was Kimi who took the title by just 1 point. 2012. Vettel in a spin thanks to Bruno Senna. Already a 2-time champion, Sebastian Vettel wanted to make it 3 drivers' titles in a row as his scrap with Fernando Alonso reached its climax in Brazil. Leading the drivers' standings by 13 points, only a minor miracle could really dethrone the German driver, with a 4th place finish enough for a title even if Alonso won. But a coming together at turn 4 on lap 1 between Bruno Senna and Vettel in damp conditions caused the title leader to spin, dropping him down to 22nd. Ferrari and Alonso couldn't believe their luck, but the Red Bull driver was quick to regroup and started working his way through the field. At lap 23, Vettel was back up to 5th with Fernando in 4th, while a safety car coming out on track bunched up the field. Rain late on in the race would shake things up again, with Vettel pitting for inters, but a failure on his radio meant the team wasn't ready for his stop, leading to a long delay. As Alonso took 2nd place from his fellow Ferrari teammate Felipe Massa, Vettel fought back to 6th to restore his lead in the championship. A late safety car then ended the race rather abruptly, and Sebastian won his 3rd driver's title in a row. 2005, Alonso becomes the youngest champion. Not a long story this one, but a moment of F1 history as Fernando Alonso became the youngest ever drivers' world title winner in 2005. A 3rd place finish behind Juan Pablo Montoya and Kimi Raikkonen was enough to crown Alonso king, aged just 24 years and 59 days old, surpassing Emerson Fittipaldi's record of 25 years and 273 days set in 1972. While McLaren would retake the lead in the Constructors' battle that weekend thanks to a 1-2 finish from Juan Pablo Montoya and Kimi Raikkonen, Renault would eventually reclaim the lead in the final 2 races of the season, thanks to a history-making Spaniard in their number 1 driver's seat. 2008. Hamilton pips Glock to take title over Massa. A year after the devastation of losing the world title to Kimi Raikkonen, Lewis Hamilton headed to Brazil again with a world championship lead over another Ferrari driver, this time Felipe Massa. His advantage was just 7 points, and Hamilton had to finish 5th or higher to ensure a world title was his as he started Sunday's race 4th on the grid. The race was filled with drama right at the end as the Brazilian driver Massa led in the final few laps. Hamilton, however, was down to 4th and under serious pressure from Sebastian Vettel in the Toro Rosso. Rain began to fall, so Hamilton and the German came into the pits for intermediate tyres, while Timo Glock in the Toyota decided to stay out on slicks, hoping to risk it all for a potential 4th place finish. While Massa took the checkered flag in the lead, Hamilton, now behind Vettel in 6th, was 38 seconds down the road in the final few corners. The Toyota of Glock was now struggling on its slicks in the ever-dampening conditions, but was still in 4th as they made the left turn up the hill towards the start-finish line. The Ferrari garage and the Brazilian crowd were ecstatic, believing their countryman had wrapped up the World Drivers' title, but Vettel and Hamilton blew past Glock in the last few moments of the race heading up the hill to the finish line. Stunned, no one could believe it, but Hamilton had finished 5th and had his first driver's title of a now historic career. 1991, Senna's start-to-finish victory. You can't have a Brazilian Grand Prix discussion without talking about Ayrton Senna. The native countryman had to wait until 1991 to take his first victory on home soil, and in an impressive drive leading from start to finish, Senna left it all in the car, literally, having to be lifted from the cockpit at the end to take the podium, with the driver so exhausted that he could barely lift his winner's trophy. A failed gearbox had left him without 4th gear for a large part of the race, before 3rd and 5th gear had also failed him towards the end, as he fended off challenges from Nigel Mansell and Riccardo Patrese, and the crowd showered their adulation on him as he eventually stood triumphant. A moment of history for Senna and for Formula 1, and an unreal moment in Brazil. So, are there any moments from Brazilian Grand Prix in the past that we've left off our list that you think should have made our top 5? Let us know in the comments section below. Of course, you can blame recency bias for some of them, but with Brazil towards the end of the season so often, it really does open the catalogue for some historic Formula 1 moments. Of course, we will have all of the build-up to the action in Brazil this weekend, so hit the subscribe button down below to stay with us throughout this week and the end of this Formula 1 season here at GPFans.